Good morning. So I'm very pleased to have another talk, another presentation today. And after the yesterday party and those kind of smart games, I feel a little bit smarter. Yeah. So really. So what else? I really had some troubles how to name my talk today. First, it was kind of evolution of Zabbix. Now I'm thinking it's thoughts about the future of Zabbix. But actually, my talk today will consist of a few quite important announcements. Well, let's start from the very beginning, Zabbix Roadmap. Sometimes it's, for some people, it was kind of a source of confusion. So Zabbix, where Zabbix is going, what kind of features we may expect in the future releases of Zabbix. Yeah? For example, if you're wondering what may be released in Zabbix 4.2, it's still kind of a question mark. But maybe not anymore. So Zabbix Roadmap is publicly available. It's already on our website. And if you, yeah, that's very cool. And if you have a look, if you go to our website, this is, well, how it looks like right now. You basically click on the product. There is a link to the roadmap. And that's, if you click on this link, you can see, OK, this roadmap for 4.0, which obviously should be removed very soon. And we also have a roadmap for 4.2, which is already finalized, basically. And 4.4, 5.0 is not ready yet, but that is 4.2. So there are many features included. And I will basically go through some of them. But I really want to tell you that this is our intention, what we want and we believe will be included in 4.2. I really kind of have kind of a goal. I really want the features we develop in Zabbix to be delivered by users as soon as possible. Because what happened with 4.0, for example, some features which we implemented like 9 months ago or 6 months ago, they still were not available because they've been waiting waiting for release of 4.0. Yeah, it's not good anymore. So we really need to get into a situation when we have kind of more frequent releases. And just a quick reminder how we built our roadmap. The roadmap is built basically from the four big blocks. One is the sponsored development, or it's paid development. This is the way how you may basically influence kind of the direction we are moving with your money, well, to some extent, yeah. Some strategic features. These are features which are important for the future of Zabbix. This feature which really aligned very well with the vision for the future of Zabbix. Community, we always look at what community is thinking about some newer features. As you probably know, if you go to support.zabbix.com, you have a choice. You may create your feature request, and you may vote for existing feature requests. And I think every major release of Zabbix contains maybe at least 10 features of top 50 feature requests, most voted feature requests from a community. 5 up to 10 most voted feature requests are implemented in every major release. It's guaranteed, yeah, and some functional and technical depth. So, and what normally happens? It all goes to the roadmap. So we are trying to find kind of a good balance of kind of sponsored development, strategic features, what we would like to implement for the community. But in many cases, we came up to the situation when the percentage of the strategic features which really move Zabbix forward, yeah, it might be in the range of 20, maybe 30 or 40%. The rest and the big portion comes from a sponsored development. And obviously, sponsored development is really important for us. It brings some revenue. Also, these are also very nice features. Those features are really nice. We don't do any kind of customer-specific development. If we decide to implement something in Zabbix, that is nice feature. This is nice features, but maybe not that important in the long term for Zabbix. We actually, in many cases, we have maybe some kind of more important functionality to be implemented. Yeah, and that's why if you look at the release notes, or maybe 4.0 or 3.4 or 3.2, you may think that okay, the kind of the features we are releasing look a little bit random, yeah, because we're touching surface of some functionality here. We are trying to start implementing a new feature there, but you don't maybe feel some kind of a solid. You don't have some solid feeling where Zabbix is moving to. And what I really want to have, I really want strategic features to be the kind of the percentage of the strategic features in Zabbix Roadmap to be at least 80%. Yeah, strategic features may obviously include also some parts of the sponsored development if it's aligned with our visions. With our vision, no problem. We are absolutely fine to do this work. If community, the things which comes from community are also really important for us. But I really want Zabbix to make to play kind of more important role in creating a roadmap. So now let's have a look at the 4.2. I will go quickly through the features we plan to implement on 4.2. Well, migration to Git. Yeah, so finally we have to do it. We already migrated from, I remember this time when we used CVS, I guess. Yeah, CVS. Then at some point we migrated to Subversion. Now it's time, finally, okay, we give up. Okay, we have to migrate to Git. Yeah, because this is yeah, this is the language all developers are talking about. Yeah. So as you can see, all the contribution which comes from community, most of it is on a GitHub. Yeah. So and we don't know exactly where we are going to keep our kind of source control. It could be GitHub. It could be GitLab. We may use Atlassian products. We don't know yet, but the decision is already made. So we are moving to Git. Community and partners to review proposals. I'll talk about this a little bit later. And official builds for new platforms. I really want Zabbix to be available for more platforms. So for maybe to support new distributions. For example, at this moment we don't support the SUSE. Yeah, we don't provide Windows agent with encryption enabled. Yeah, we just announced and 4.0 already have packages for SBAN, which I'm very happy about. Yeah, so you may quickly you have official packages for proxies supporting SBAN. Yeah, so that's very nice. What else? Better workflow, and I think this is a key. Yeah, this is maybe the most one of the most important things which we'd like to have in Zabbix 4.0 is the versioning for templates. So this way you may have a different version of the same template. So if you have a template for monitoring MySQL, okay, you may have the first version, second version, third version, and there must be some very clear clear procedure how to move from one version to another, see differences. Yeah, if you want to, if you see there is a new version of your template is available, there must be a very clear way to see the difference, to apply this template. If it doesn't work well for you, okay, you may roll back to older template and so on and so forth. Another really important part is the creation of guidelines for templates, because at this moment it's really hard to say if the template is good or not, or maybe does it follow some standards. At this moment, we don't have any standards well defined. So that's why it's really important with cooperation with the community to develop a set of guidelines so we can say exactly, okay, those templates are good. It's about naming convention. It's about what kind of problems we are going to detect. It's about usage of macros. It's about many different things. How to use the value mappings, and do we have to use value mappings, pre-processing, and so on and so forth. So this should be well defined, and we should work on those best practices. The data collection. It's really important to have as flexible data collection as possible. And actually, it's not about kind of data collection. We've been thinking this as a first step to allow community, to allow Zabbix as well, to create kind of independent modules for monitoring of various applications. So for example, the monitoring of VMware is built into Zabbix. Yeah? If we have much more flexible data collection, and this functionality will enable, for example, the monitoring of VMware to be as an independent module. And this way you could develop the monitoring of Xen, KVM, Kubernetes, anything we want. Absolutely as a kind of a standalone modules, which would probably communicate with Zabbix over HTTP protocol. So there are many different things like validation, throttling rules for preprocessing, discarding values, setting custom errors in preprocessing, embedded language for extended preprocessing, which is really nice. So it's basically about support of Lua or embedded Python. So you can write your own preprocessing rules. If you really need to work with, if functionality which is provided by built-in, well, what you have as Zabbix is not enough, is not sufficient for you. Preprocessing for LLD, including support of JSON or CSV. As you probably know, LLD works with kind of, it expects JSON in a certain format right now. Yeah, there are no LLD, there are no preprocessing available for LLD, so you cannot kind of push CSV or any JSON or maybe XML and use it for low-level discovery right now. So you end up writing, and we all end up writing our own custom scripts, which is not good enough. Out of the box of Prometheus agents, actually, Zabbix already communicates with SNMP, well, I don't know, IPMI, well, GEMX, HTTP agent right now. Now, it is already possible to talk to Prometheus, no problem at all, using HTTP agent plus preprocessing based on regular expressions, but maybe that's not the most efficient way how to do it. So there will be a native support of Prometheus agents. What else? Extreme flexibility, and this word is really, really important. Again, we are building universal monitoring system. And it's important that Zabbix can be applied to many different use cases. Yeah? So there are many users of Zabbix. You have your own needs. You use Zabbix in many, many different ways. And sometimes you hit some limits. Yeah? And it's really important to build a product that would be absolutely flexible. Yeah? For example, what we'd like to improve, and we would like to introduce a new syntax for trigger expressions, yeah? Because currently there are some limits. For example, there is no way to calculate a minimum of 2 metrics, yeah? There is no way how you can compare, say, text data, yeah? And many, many, many other things. Host template level tags, it's coming. I will talk about this a little bit later. We actually already have a spec. The plugin system for dashboard widgets. Actually, these two things are quite huge. Yeah, new syntax for trigger expressions. It's a very kind of long-term decision. Yeah, so we have to be 100% sure that we are making it right. All right. So it will take for us some time to think about it, to come up with a good proposal. Plugin system for dashboard widgets as well. It's not easy to implement and it's not easy to support, because really we need to give you kind of a stable API and stable framework, and we have to support it from one version from another with a very nice kind of upgrade path and so on and so forth. But that's what may come. And timeout on item level, which is already implemented for some of the checks, for example, HTTP agent, but it's not implemented for all items. That's why maybe some of you have some parameter like a global timeout set to, I don't know, 30 seconds, which is not good to have it on a global level. Next, ease of use. As you can see, some of those requests are so, well, I think it's just in the top 5 or top 10. For example, ability to test action and media types from UI. Yeah? Ability to test item preprocessing from UI. You created a new media type and there is no button test, which is a really shame. Yeah? or item preprocessing is getting more complex and more flexible, there must be a way just, again, to press a button. I want to test this preprocessing rule with this input data. So just, and see how this value evolves during the preprocessing steps. And what would you say at the very end? That's what I already mentioned yesterday, replacing screens with the dashboards. So screens and dashboards, they essentially provide almost the same functionality. Yeah? Dashboards, this is something new, which is most of it are new widgets based on new vector graphics and so on. So it would be nice to call everything a dashboard, yeah, and just get rid of screens, replace everything with the dashboards with no functional regression, I hope. Maybe some small thing we hope to implement for monitoring problems is just ability to have multiple filters to problems, so you can switch quickly from one to another. Yeah. So for example, you have a view, I don't know, for kind of view which gives you a list of production problems, list of maybe production network, production something related to your top-level services, and there must be one-click way to switch from one view to another. So different filters would be applied. Plugins, a number of webhooks, and at this moment, the only way how to extend action is basically to use a scripting. There is no way to call maybe some external service over HTTP. Yeah, so that's what webhooks for actions are about. Webhooks on problem generation is basically the way how you may enrich problem details. So you call external service, and external service may give you additional information and will fill problem with additional tags. Yeah. So if you have a topology information in external system, so the system may give you some additional data. If you have inventory data somewhere else, using this hook, you may basically grab this inventory data and put it into problem details. And this one, especially being in a conference in Brazil, in Latin America, I saw, and here as well, I saw so many people struggling to add a new functionality into Zabbix UI. There is no simple way to add your own custom page into Zabbix UI. Yeah? So there must be a way to extend kind of top-level menus. If you want to have your own page, you have some coding skills, you like to do it, okay, why not? Yeah? We just must provide a good framework for it. And its ability to extend context menus. Context menu means when you click on host, when you click on a problem, or you maybe click on an individual metric. There must be a way how you may extend it, yeah, without touching the kind of a core code of Zabbix. Discovery, very nice, useful feature. Again, one of the top voted. It's still not implemented. Again, it's a shame. It's still there, not implemented. It's just ability to receive data for host name from a discovery. So when you discover hosts, we basically just by default, this is our standard behavior. We use DNS name. Yeah, if we may resolve DNS name, and that's it. There are no other options. Yeah, there must be a way how to get, for example, I don't know, use the result of SNMP check or agent.hostname or SNMP. It's a system description, which basically contains the host name. Event preprocessing. Host proxy level dependencies. Another one of the top voted features is about host and proxy level dependencies. Yeah. So you probably know now you may define dependencies on a trigger level, but it's a pain to maintain it for larger scale environments. So there must be some way of defining host and proxy level dependencies. We already have some ideas how to implement it in a kind of nice way, in a very simple way for users. We'll see how it evolves. Security and integrity. This is the work we already started actually some time ago. It's about having audit records for all operations on API level. Some API calls still lack audit records. Yeah, and it's really creates some sort of inconsistency. Yeah, so it has to be resolved. And that's big thing, and we will start thinking about it in 4.2. There will be no solution yet. What we'll try to achieve in 4.2, we'd like to come up with a list of use cases for scalability, for resolving some scalability, redundancy, high availability, and issues related to distributed monitoring. So we really want to have a collection of and understand what Zabbix should be capable of, how far it should scale, yeah? What use cases for distributed monitoring it should support. And I hope in 4.4 and in 5.0 we'll come with ready-to-use solutions. But you may ask, what about design docs? So we actually published a roadmap, but what about the design docs? And let me explain how we work in Zabbix. The whole development process in Zabbix starts with we call those docs acceptance criteria docs. So first we create acceptance criteria docs, which basically have list of kind of use cases which we'd like to resolve by this functionality. They also contain the most important points. Mostly it kind of end user view. So what is expected from this functionality? And then it goes to dev team. Dev team creates a kind of more specific technical design doc. Then it goes to dev, code review, QA, documentation writing, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but the first document, acceptance criteria document, is the most important one. This is basically the source of the whole development process. And good thing is acceptance criteria documents are also publicly available, and they will be publicly available as soon as something is ready. As soon as we have something in the draft state, we publish it, and they will be available for community. So at this moment, we already have it published. I think maybe like 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. It's a big snacks. 4723, it's about advanced preprocessing. Please have a look if you're interested in the preprocessing options. Just let us know what you think about it. Maybe we missed some use cases. Yeah, just have a look. And 4087, it's about allowing preprocessing for low-level discovery rule. The work is in progress. We are still discussing different options, how to make it better. Again, just have a look. And support of tags for host and templates. So currently, all these docs exist kind of as attachments to those feature requests, and I think maybe it's not so easy to work with the community to collect the feedback. And we are just considering different options. Maybe we'll host them on GitHub. This is one option. Another option, we may end up with having kind of external wiki. Internally, we use a Confluence, Atlassian Confluence for all the work, but we don't know what might be the best way how to work with community. Maybe it will end up being available on GitHub, or there will be another Confluence instance publicly available. Well, we don't know yet. But anyway, those docs are already available as a PDF, and please have a look and put your comments. Zabbix capabilities. Quite often, we receive questions like, is Zabbix capable of something? Like, can Zabbix monitor this application? Can Zabbix be integrated with that product? Yeah, and well, and the obvious answer to this question, well, just Google it. Yeah, just Google Zabbix plus something. Yeah, and you'll get some answer. But I think it's really not a good answer. So again, what we introduced again, if you go to our website, to the product section, here it is. You click there. Oh, sorry, to the solutions. Yeah, to the solutions. You click on solutions and go to integrations. So and integrations is basically a list of products with. So Zabbix is known to work with those products, work with those technologies. It basically is able to monitor the software which is listed there. And also, it's not about Zabbix's ability to monitor those applications. It's also Zabbix ability to be integrated with some of these solutions. So now, as you see, it's all kind of classified. As here, you may click on DevOps. You see, okay, how Zabbix may work with Ansible or Jenkins, whatever. Databases, how it can monitor different databases, how it works with the cloud, notifications and alerting, integration with different Opsgenie, PagerDuty, and other things. Orchestration, configuration management system, operating system, and so forth, and so on and so forth. So at the moment, there are more than, I think, 320 products listed. And you can search, obviously. So if your question is how to monitor, I don't know, HP Enterprise servers. Okay, HP Enterprise. Okay, and you have two solutions. And by the way, they're all official. Like, as you can see, there is a rating, official. I will talk about this a little bit later. You're wondering how to monitor MySQL. Okay, you can find it here. There are some solutions which are coming from vendor. Some of the solutions which are kind of high-quality solutions which are coming from a community. And the difference maybe between share, because we have a share, Zabbix.com, and now we have integrations. So you may ask, what's the difference between share and integrations? And integrations is basically we collect best of what we have. We collect the best solutions from share.zabbix.com. We collect the best solution from a GitHub. We also put our own kind of vendor-supported solutions. So this is a very good repository, and you can see what exists for Zabbix, what is the existing ecosystem right now. And then if you click on so all this, sorry. Okay. All those cards, they are clickable. If you click there, for example, for HP Enterprise, you may see a list of available solutions like this. And then there is a name, there is a short description. As you can see, there are a few tags, like it contains low-level discovery. It's based on SNMP agent. This is the source, so it comes from share. It's a kind of information about the compatibility, technology which is used. It could be a template, or maybe it's something written in Python, whatever. And then there is a rating. Official means it's officially supported by Zabbix himself. Okay, so this is officially supported. So basically, you may trust this solution. So for example, VictorOps. You click on the VictorOps, and you see a different rating, which is called a vendor. So what vendor means? Vendor means that this solution is supported by a vendor, by a VictorOps. Okay, they basically maintain this integration. Yeah, you click on this link, or go to victorops.com, and you may find this integration. By the way, Zabbix integration with VictorOps is, I guess, in #1 and #2 by popularity. Ansible, same vendor or what comes from a community. And popular, it's based on a number of stars from a GitHub or number of downloads from share.zabbix.com. So basically, it's a moderated list of all known solutions that work. And we, Zabbix, moderate this list. Okay? What else? Zabbix Cloud. Just a few words about Zabbix Cloud, because today there will be a talk from Zabbix, from Vladishev. So Zabbix Cloud is basically ability for one-click deployment of Zabbix infrastructure in the cloud, and that's it. So I won't tell anything else. There will be a talk. But for me, I think what is really important about Zabbix Cloud is that having Zabbix Cloud, having a kind of big infrastructure to take care of, this will give us Zabbix as a company. This will force us to have NOC. It will force us to have 24/7 operations. And finally, we can start eating our own dog food. Yeah, so we'll start using our own product, because sometimes we have a little bit of difficulties to understand what is the real user needs. And now, Zabbix, we become user of our own product. So I'm really, really happy about it. Training programs. That's what already was mentioned yesterday. Sergey gave you a very nice presentation. So again, that was highly anticipated by users. We have Zabbix, we had Zabbix certified, Zabbix professional programs, but we had nothing for those people who use Zabbix on a daily basis. Not Zabbix admins, but just the end users of Zabbix. Now we have it. It's a certified user on this end, kind of difficulty. On the other end is a certified expert. When we really talk about best practices, we talk about the most advanced things about Zabbix, yeah? So, and this is obviously the way Zabbix certified user, specialist, professional, and the certified expert. So Zabbix product is evolving. We really have so much to talk about, so much to explain, and 5 days of Zabbix certified specialist plus Zabbix professional is not enough anymore. Yeah, it's just too much information to fit into 2 courses. And a few words about worldwide expansion. And I have also a few announcements here. As you probably know, at this moment we have more than 130 partners, and I really appreciate our cooperation with the partners, which it's just a kind of two-way cooperation. So we help our partners partners help us. Since Zabbix being a small company, it's really hard to imagine us covering the whole world without the help of our partners, of course. Yeah. So we have partners all over the world. And I really believe so. As a company, we found a very good balance between basically building and giving away a free software and delivering sustainable growth. Yeah, in terms of the product, how product grows, how product grow, and also how our business and how our team grows. So if you meet a random person at Zabbix team and ask, what do you do? There will be probably 2 types of answer. One will be, I develop a free software. Most probably this will be the guy with the t-shirts. He will be probably discussing things like what is better, VI or Emacs or something like that. And another group of people, Zabbix, they do provide services. And basically this is a way this is basically kind of the way how we earn money, yeah, how we make a living. So we do provide commercial services of different types to provide technical support. We also do consultancy services, turnkey solutions, and many professional training, of course, and many other services. So at this moment, we have customers in more than 75 countries. We do provide 24/7 support. So 24/7 support comes to enterprise and the platinum customers. So 75 countries and more. Last year, I told you that we identified at least 50 companies from the Fortune 500. Those are the biggest American companies that use Zabbix on a different scale, of course. At this moment, I have to say it's more than 60 companies. And also, this is only American companies. Obviously, the biggest companies from, Brazil, the biggest companies from Japan, biggest companies from Russia, biggest companies from China, they also use Zabbix. But maybe it's not the kind of the most important criteria. Is it a big company or not? But I'm really happy that we are growing in terms of users. So there are more and more users of Zabbix around. That's probably a kind of indicator of that we are maybe moving in the right direction. Yeah. So I'm really happy about it. These are just few of our users and few of our customers. There are some well-known names. Obviously, we cannot talk about all our customers, yeah, because of NDAs and because of other restrictions. Worldwide presence, again, so 3 locations at this moment: Riga, New York, and Tokyo. And I'm very pleased to announce that we are opening the 4th location, and the 4th location is in Moscow. Okay, so Moscow, Russia, we are coming. Yeah, even on this conference and before, and you can see that there is a huge community of kind of Russian-speaking community, and there are some social channels like a Telegram channels or a forum which is very, very active. So people from Russia are discussing Zabbix, and I really appreciate this level of interest from Russian users. So we'd like to be really closer. We would like to deliver services to our users in Russia. So actually, we already have a legal entity. Yeah. So it's basically called Zabbix. And we are opening, yeah, so, yeah, it is Zabbix, yeah. Okay, so we are opening an office in Moscow, and location of the physical office is to be announced soon. And all services will be provided in Russian. We already provided services in Russia, from Zabbix himself in Russian language, and Latvian language, in the English language. But that will be much closer to users. And another announcement: we also feel kind of a huge growth of a user base in China right now. And actually, I mentioned that the biggest companies of, yeah, okay, yeah, and actually. I mentioned that the largest companies, those are actually the largest world financial companies, the biggest world banks which are in China. Some of them, I know at least maybe 3 or 4, they use Zabbix also on a different scale. Insurance companies and financial companies. And I'm really excited to announce the partnership of Zabbix and Grand Dash company, which became our Zabbix exclusive distributor in China. Okay, so that's my last but not least announcements for today. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexei. Maybe a couple of questions.
Thank you for the presentation. How much we have?
Not many minutes.
2?
2.
Okay, so the first one and the most upvoted is, will Zabbix integrate support for a system D so that we can monitor services on Linux like we do now on Windows?
Well, I don't know. So if the question is about integration of a system D monitoring into Zabbix agent, probably, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it might be implemented. Yeah, it might be implemented. It's not there yet. It would be, of course, nice to have it kind of two-way integration, like discovery of all services which are available on Linux, and also the monitoring of those services. I believe this is kind of the minor change. I didn't cover all when I discussed the roadmap. I didn't cover some kind of a minor changes. It's all about bigger changes. So this is something that I consider a minor change. It may appear in Zabbix anytime. Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, even in the minor release of Zabbix, yeah, because it doesn't touch lots of Zabbix code.
Thank you. And the last one, do you have plans to move to Nginx as a default front-end engine?
Oh yeah, it may happen. Actually, it also may happen. Yeah, it's kind of from the very beginning we use Apache as a web server, but we may move to Nginx as well. Yeah. So, or maybe, I don't know if it would be a better option to provide both kind of packages with Nginx and Apache, or maybe it will introduce kind of more confusion to users. So I guess we might have some kind of voting somewhere. So what community think about it? Yeah. So that's probably will be a right solution.
Thank you. And could we have one more? It's really interesting.
Yeah, short.
Sure. Yeah. The new trigger syntax, will it replace the old syntax, or it will go somehow along with that?
Well, I think it will replace the older syntax, yes. Will replace completely. And maybe if we have just 10 seconds, the problem with the older syntax is kind of object-oriented approach. When you have object, and then we apply some function to that object, yeah? And there is no way to apply maybe some kind of multiple functions to the same object, or to use to use a few objects, like a few metrics, and apply a function to all of them. Like in my example, we are not able to calculate minimum or maximum of 2 different metrics. It's a real shame. So we've been considering maybe more a functional approach. So instead of this kind of procedural and object-oriented syntax, we would probably move to a functional approach. When you have one function, another function, and as the arguments of those functions, you could use data from basically metric data. Yeah, so that's the idea.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you for the questions, and thank you, Alexei. Thank you.
Thank you.